Lil Poppa's family has spoken out following his sudden passing, and as fans search for answers and closure, this video walks through who Lil Poppa was, what led up to this tragic moment, how the music world has responded, and later in this story we will explain what is currently known about funeral arrangements. Lil Poppa, whose real name was Janarious Mykel Wheeler, was a rising hip-hop artist from Jacksonville, Florida, whose emotional storytelling and raw honesty earned him a deeply loyal fan base. Known for blending vulnerability with strength, Lil Poppa's music often reflected real-life struggles, personal growth, faith, and resilience. His sudden death has left the hip-hop community and fans around the world stunned and searching for meaning in his words. Born on March 18, 2000, Lil Poppa grew up in Jacksonville, a city that shaped both his worldview and his sound. Life in Jacksonville influenced his lyrics, his tone, and the way he spoke about survival and hope. He began making music at a young age, recording songs with minimal resources but with a clear sense of purpose. From the very beginning, it was evident that he was not just chasing fame. He was trying to tell a story, his own story, and the stories of people around him. His early music quickly gained traction online. Listeners were drawn to the honesty in his voice and the way he spoke about pain without exaggeration. Many fans said his songs felt like conversations rather than performances. They did not sound forced or artificial. They sounded lived in. That authenticity became his signature and helped him stand out in a crowded music scene. As his popularity grew, Lil Poppa's music began reaching a wider audience. Songs like Purple Hearts helped establish him as an artist willing to speak openly about loss, trauma, loyalty, and survival. Instead of following trends, he leaned into authenticity. His lyrics often reflected moments of reflection, prayer, and emotional exhaustion, mixed with determination and hope. For many listeners, his music felt comforting, especially during difficult periods of their lives. Over time, his consistency and dedication paid off. Lil Poppa signed deals that brought him into the national spotlight, including work connected to Collective Music Group, the label founded by Yo Gotti. Despite the growing recognition, Lil Poppa continued to present himself as grounded and connected to his roots. In interviews and social media posts, he often spoke about growth, responsibility, and staying focused. He did not portray success as perfection. Instead, he described it as a process. In the weeks leading up to his death, Lil Poppa appeared focused on the future. He had recently released new music, including a single that many fans now describe as haunting in hindsight. Supporters believed he was entering a new phase of his career, one that would bring even more recognition and stability. There was a sense that he was evolving not only musically, but personally as well. The news of his death broke in mid-February 2026. Authorities in Georgia confirmed that Lil Poppa was found deceased in Fulton County. He was just 25 years old. The confirmation sent shockwaves across social media, with fans struggling to process how someone so young, talented, and seemingly driven could be gone so suddenly. As the news spread, tributes began pouring in from fellow artists, producers, and fans. Many described Lil Poppa as genuine, humble, and gifted. Others shared personal stories about how his music helped them through dark moments, grief, or emotional isolation. Streaming platforms saw a dramatic increase in plays of his catalog, as listeners returned to his songs in search of comfort, understanding, and connection. Beyond the music, Lil Poppa was also a father. He leaves behind a young son born in 2022. That reality added another layer of heartbreak to the news. Fans reflected on the future his child will now grow up facing without his father present. Messages of support for Lil Poppa's family, especially for his child, spread widely across social platforms, with many expressing hope that his son will one day understand the impact his father had on so many lives. In Jacksonville, the city where Lil Poppa's journey began, fans organized memorial gatherings to honor his life. Murals appeared, candlelight vigils were held, listening events brought people together to share memories and music. These moments showed how deeply his presence was felt at a community level, not just as an artist, but as someone who represented perseverance and relatability for many young people. However, one memorial gathering took a tragic turn when violence broke out, leaving several people injured. Authorities later confirmed that gunfire erupted during the event. While the injuries were reported as non-fatal, the incident cast a shadow over what was meant to be a moment of collective mourning and remembrance. Community leaders and fans alike called for peace, urging others to honor Lil Poppa's name with respect rather than chaos. The tragedy also reignited conversations around mental health in the music industry. Many fans pointed out that Lil Poppa's lyrics often touched on internal battles, emotional exhaustion, pressure, and self-reflection. Mental health advocates emphasized that success does not protect someone from struggle, and that artists often carry immense emotional weight behind the scenes. His passing became another reminder that pain is not always visible. In statements released through representatives, Lil Poppa's family thanked fans for their overwhelming love and support. They acknowledged the pain being felt worldwide while asking for privacy as they grieve. The family emphasized that Lil Poppa was more than a public figure. He was a son, a father, a friend, and a loved one whose loss cannot be measured in streams, headlines, or charts. His record label and collaborators also released messages honoring his legacy. They described him as dedicated, thoughtful, and deeply invested in his craft. Several artists noted that Lil Poppa was always focused on growth, both personally and professionally. He took pride in creating music that mattered, music that told the truth even when it was uncomfortable. As the days passed, attention naturally turned toward how Lil Poppa's life would be formally honored. Fans wanted to know if there would be a public funeral, a memorial service, or a celebration of life where they could pay their respects. Social media filled with questions, speculation, and emotional messages directed toward the family, with many urging patience and understanding. Now, as promised earlier in this video, we turn to what is currently known about funeral arrangements. At this time, there has been no confirmed public funeral date or memorial service announced by Lil Poppa's family. According to sources close to the situation, all arrangements are being handled privately. No official location, date, or public invitation has been released. The family has chosen to grieve away from the public eye, a decision that many fans have expressed understanding and respect for. In cases involving sudden and deeply personal loss, it is not uncommon for families to take time before sharing any details or to keep services limited to close relatives and friends. If a public memorial or celebration of life is planned at a later time, the family or official representatives are expected to make that information public themselves. Until then, there is no verified funeral update available. For now, Lil Poppa is being remembered through his music, his words, and the impact he had on listeners around the world. His songs continue to stream in large numbers, serving as reminders of his voice, his honesty, and his ability to connect with people who felt unseen or unheard. Though his life was tragically short, Lil Poppa's legacy remains powerful. He represented vulnerability in a genre that often demands toughness. He spoke about pain without shame. He showed that reflection and strength can exist side by side. As his family continues to mourn privately, fans continue to honor him in their own ways, through music, messages, and moments of silence. And while there is currently no public funeral update, the patience being shown reflects the love and respect people have for Lil Poppa and those he left behind.